Do you guys like this professional look? Well, what's up? I literally got hauled into the, okay, so maybe I've been in leggings for too long, but I started this job and I was like, there's old ass ladies. They want me to dress like I'm going to a funeral or some shit. But anyway, it just reminded me of that because they like had to sit me down like, um, you have to represent the company. Like, I'm like, oh shit. So I gotta pull my shit together. You know what I mean? Like, I can't wear my leggings and my flip flops work. I've had people. But I don't even care if people aren't gonna be in here because either way people need to hear some things in today. So girl, this is a Walmart special. Look, it's like the shit that's already, this is grandma, but it's a work in progress. How are you? Unapologetically Trey, spiritually gifted 23. I don't know, like I'm all day today and yesterday, like I barely slept, like I'm all over the place. But if you can keep up with my ADHD mind, basically what I wanted to tell everyone and just throw it out there to the universe is that um it's time. It's time to let go of everything that's held us back. It's time to figure out the things, because it's like you think about the cycles you have in your life and the things that keep happening over and over. And I don't know about you, but I'm fucking tired of it, you know? But reverting back and self-reflecting enough to the point to rip off the band-aid and figure out the things that we hold on to and the toxic shit that we all have in our lives is like, it draws in the negative energy and it's like they feed off of it. And it's like, I'm tired of listening to the voices because I don't know how to explain the journey that I've been on or how like I feel right now, but even where I'm at just in general, like once your ego is stripped and you're awakened to the point where you're able to see things, like the universe is going to push you to the point where you are where you need to be. And it's not going to look like what you want to look like. It's not going to be, you know, not everybody's meant to be fucking married with kids and a white picket fence. And it's just like, I'm so tired of the shit that's drilled in our heads since we're like infants. You know, you're supposed to wear this brand name. You're supposed to do this. You're supposed to work. And it's like literally modern day slavery, but don't get me started. I could go off, but I'm just saying, like, it's time for us to figure out and heal the things that attract the toxic shit and all the behaviors, all the thought patterns, and just be, you know? I've had the same toxic ass cycles with the last, probably every guy that I've dated, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, it took me until this year and it's just like everything in my life fucking fell apart. it's just like, you know, up until this year, I worked my ass off. I got up every day. I went to work. I was the super mom. But this year, I was backed into a wall completely, and my health was affected. My house is infected. My job, my car, everything just set it off. So since January 5th, when I walked away from the job that I was at for 5 years, mind you, I love those people I work with. They're the only reason I stayed there. But it was just like the same thing. Like, I fell into the same trap that everyone else did, that we need to go to work, we need to get money, we need to, and it's like years went by at the same fucking job, and what? It's like money never really meant shit to me, because it's like I've always been different. I'm just gonna lay that out there. But I mean, I don't really hold value in money, but because I never really had it. So when I did, it was like I blew it, you know. You get your tax return and it's like you're balling for a day. You know, nobody's really thugging out here, you know, people that are working nonstop. So being this broke has opened my eyes completely to, it's just like I was wrapped up in the wrong shit. And I don't even care if I lose this house, because, you know, I feel like the energy that's around me, and just if I have to lose it, I'm going to lose it. I take responsibility for the shit that I did to myself in my life, where I got behind on my bills, where I listened to the voices. That's the main thing, is that I listened to them. I believed them when they told me that I wasn't going to be shit, that I brought this on myself, I'm a failure, I'm a bad mother. And it's like, up until now, I had it all together, or all together, like what we're supposed to do, what's drilled into our heads. And it's just like, I'm finally free, and I just want people to be on the same level that I am. And it's like, it's not about what you have or who's in your life. It's about finding people that the universe brings into your life that you probably didn't notice, you know? But it's like things all come together in a weird, twisted way. And it took me sitting down and realizing, you know, what haven't I forgiven? Who in my life has really fucked me over, that I held on to that anger? Who in my life was just a sex-based relationship? Because the bitch has 4 kids, let's be honest. I didn't even know my baby daddies. I don't want to talk about it. Long story short, it's just been toxic shit after toxic shit. And I was like trying to find love, and I was trying to find value. And it's like, in the midst of doing everything that we're supposed to do, I was still miserable. And I still fucked up my life completely. And oh well, you know what I mean? Like, it could be worse. But it's just like, it's time for us to remember how far we've come, for one, because everybody's been through some shit. We're still standing, you know, not have what they say you should have. But does it matter? Because when you are laid in that box, you're by yourself. Am I right or wrong? I'm so tired of people, like, and I can't even really say that because it'd be hypocritical, but I just want people to be aware of the things that we're holding on to that are holding us back. Be aware of the spiritual warfare that's all around us all day long, and we're listening to it. We're feeding into it in one way or another, whether it's social media or toxic ass people that are brought into your life with that good dick. I'm just saying, they're, God damn it, the fucking football players and the chocolates. I'm just saying, I got off track, and I put myself off track, and I'm kind of in a mess right now. And it's like, I don't really care what happens, as long as I'm just being honest. That's where I'm at. But I want people to be aware of the things that happened to us as a child, how we were treated, how we were taught, how our parents acted with us. And the abandonment shit is real. There's sexual abuse, there's emotional abuse, there's physical abuse. And sometimes we're not aware of any of that shit, or like that are even still holding on to it, you know, because I'm 32 years old and I let go of the fact that I grew up in foster homes, you know, and I don't know. My version of love was always distorted because I have fucked up ass parents, and I didn't fit the mold, and I let it get the best of me, and I didn't realize that I wanted someone so bad. Like, I cling on to the wrong people, and they destroyed my life. I destroyed my life. And when we are able to heal and see things that we are doing in our own lives, you start recognizing the strategic things that are put in your life, whether it's a job. And it's modern day slavery, I'm telling you right now, because we're putting all our value in a job and making money that there's never going to be enough money. Greed, you know, envy of what the next person has, and that they're married with kids and they look happy on Facebook, so fuck them, you know. But it's just like, we don't have to fit in. We don't have to be what other people say we're supposed to be. Some of us weren't treated very well. Some of us never really fit in. And the misfits of the world are the ones that, I mean, take Albert Einstein. Everyone thought he was insane, but he was a fucking genius. Like, what's not going to be understood by other people doesn't matter. If you're not married, or you're not in love, or with your fucking twin flame, or your fucking soulmate, you can't be happy. I personally neglected and just took for granted every part of my life. And it took this big wake-up call in my life to see what I had done and what I was doing and what I was still holding on to. And healing is where it starts. There's things that we need to heal in ourselves that we're not even aware of sometimes. And the archangels and your spirit guides have been here since the beginning, you know? And I think that there's people that I've lost personally that I could never physically replace. And it kind of makes sense now that they're not physically with me, but now they're on my side, fighting on my side, the shit that I can't even see. You know, sometimes we're going to lose people so that they can fight for us on a different realm. And the people I've lost, I need those motherfuckers next to me. And it's crazy, the shit that I've like realized and that I've been through. And it's like fucked up and not fit in. And God, everything that we've been taught is just a setup. And it's never going to be enough. You could have millions of dollars and still be miserable because we're putting our happiness in the hands of something that was never meant to ever make us happy. It's like happiness is a journey, not a destination, but it's like we're all trying to reach this goal that's not even reachable. And slowly people are standing up for what they believe in, and they're speaking from the things that they've been through, and we all have a voice, and it's time that we let it be heard in one way or another. And it's only because I've been through hell that I can sit here and tell you I know how you feel, that I know what it's like. But it's time, I mean, we just have to start like listening to the right things, because the focus is so much on mental health, but no one's paying attention to the fact that there's a whole spiritual fucking realm around us at all times. There's a reason why people have anxiety. There's a reason why people have depression. There's a reason why people use drugs. There's a reason why people drink. There's a reason why people are addicted to porn. There's a reason why we have so many things in our life that we're addicted to, because it feels good for the moment, but it never fulfills anything in our lives. It just creates more fucking chaos. And I was told once that if we were to see the demons or spirits or whatever your belief is, because I believe there's both, but that's just my opinion, they're really small, and we give them all this power over us, and what they feed on is fear and anger and jealousy and all the things that we hold on to, because we've had to be this self-defensive because everybody is so wrapped up in themselves. It's like we forgot to care about ourselves. We forgot to tell people in our lives that we love them, because it's drilled in our head to get up and go to work and work 40 hours and pay for this, and we don't have enough money and we have to pay this bill, and it's just bullshit. So as I'm on my rant and all over the place, my emotions are fucking crazy, but believe me when I tell you that I've never been more free in my life. And there's so many good things that we are missing out on because we're focused on the wrong shit. We don't have to hold on to the pain that someone else inflicted on us because of what they were carrying around with them. That's giving them power over us in our life. And we have a calling that is, we're here for a reason. We're meant to be. For some people, it's healing. That's the main thing that is going to be all over my channel. And the only reason that I can tell you what I've been through is because I've been broken down to the point where I didn't want to get out of bed. And I let a man tell me, like, I put my worth in what someone else thought of me. And it's a distorted view to begin with, because the main thing that I'm trying to get across, if I can just spit it out, is that people need to be loved for who they are and not for what we want them to be, for what we think they should be, for what their potential is in your life to meet you where you're at when you're on your worst fucking day and you have the gun in your hand, or you have the knife in your hand to slit your wrist, that you do have somebody in your corner. And it's okay to fall apart and let these emotions out and heal the things that we're told we're not supposed to talk about. As a woman especially, like, we were not taught how to love ourselves correctly. My mother is the epitome of mental illness. That's the only reason I can help other people. It's the only reason I can recognize it in other people. And it's like, we as parents need to step it up a little bit too and realize our kids are our future. But it really does start with nurturing and, like, just loving people, loving ourselves first and foremost, and accepting the parts of yourself that you don't want to talk about, the parts of yourself that you're not proud of, the parts of yourself that a lot of people don't talk about because it's not okay to talk about. And you can go to a fucking counselor and take the medications that they tell you to take, but that's not going to heal you. It's a setup to keep. Anyways, it's just time to let it all go. Like, everything that you're stressed out about, the worry, the anxiety, the stress, let it go. Figure out a way to release it. Figure out the things that the people in your life that you haven't forgiven, the things that make you feel scared, or the fear itself, or the depression, or the main root of the problem is we're holding on to shit that's holding us back. And we've been listening to all the wrong things, these demons in your head, in your thoughts, in your life, telling you you're not good enough, that you're never going to be shit. because of somebody else's adjective from who knows. Like, throw out everything that you've ever been taught in your life and build yourself up from the ground up and realize that the strongest people are only strong because they didn't have a choice. Because some of us are to the point where we want to give up. I've been there. But I didn't. I'm still standing, you know. I got a long way to go. But at the same time, I feel better now that other people in my life don't have power over me anymore. The main tie that a narcissist has to you is the feelings of not being good enough. Whatever kind of pain or abuse you've been through on whatever level, because I don't know y'all lives. Once you cut those ties and they no longer have any ties to you, when your emotions are put on the right things like yourself, they don't have the same ties to you. And then you're going to have people that are brought into your life to heal you or to show you yourself that you weren't able to see before because you're so focused on your baby daddy that is a piece of shit, you know? I think that the main thing that I want everyone to learn how to do is turn pain into power. I haven't been reading the comments, but we have a lot to learn about the fact that we as women have always been lesser than. And it's time for us to realize that that's someone else's version of a distorted ass truth that we believed. Because that's the value that we were placed at. We're objects. We're things that were thrown to the side. If you're too fat, if you have kids, if you're a single mom, if you have mental illness, why do we let anybody else determine that we're not good enough because one person doesn't want us? But in reality, they don't like themselves. They don't know how to love other people because they were never loved themselves. And it's okay, you know, fuck. I wasted so many years trying to make shit work with people, and it was like, the horse has been dead, Emily. The motherfucker has been ran over at least 15 times, but I'm still trying to be like, oh, it'll come. No, it's time to just let the motherfucker go. You want to be a hoe? If you don't know what you want, if you want a mommy, there's bitches out here for you. I'm not going to help you anymore. I have 4 kids. And if I have to stand on my own 2 feet on days when I feel like I'm going to crumble, every day almost I lose my shit. And that's real. And it's time to accept the fact that we're going to lose our shit. It's better to let it out than hold it in. The main thing is releasing the shit that's holding you back from what you're supposed to be. Stop believing the bad fucking thoughts and the anxiety and thinking that you need a medication or you need a diagnosis or whatever the fuck you were taught, you know? It's time to turn the pain into power. And there's people that have, and there's people that are living proof of it. And you guys have been on my journey where it's been, I'm a shit show on every given Sunday. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I have Cash Me Out. I Am Queen Supreme. Not only is she an amazing artist, but I don't know. I met her at a time in my life where I didn't even know who she was. I met her at a bar. She's an artist, but it's way more than that. And she's been through more shit than I could even begin to. I mean, I'm like, I don't even have it that bad. I mean, there's people that have been through hell and back and flipped it back around and stood there and are still standing in their power regardless of what life has thrown at them. That we can be beaten, we can be abused, we can be we don't fit the mold, we're outside the box, we're the rejects, we're the poverty-stricken single mothers that don't even remember what day it is half the time, because don't get me started. But I'm just saying, like, it's okay to accept the parts of you that aren't so pretty and realize that that doesn't define who you are and who you are destined to be. Because people have survived shit that a normal person wouldn't. And it's just like, I think about the suicide rates and the depression, the mental illness, and it's a problem. It's a problem. And it stems from something that we went through as a child or a teen or whatever the case may be. And we had to put it in so deep inside that we didn't even notice what it was doing to us for how long. Because we weren't allowed to talk about it. It's all this, not in the real fucking world. No. But it's okay to have demons. It's okay to recognize that the motherfuckers are there, but that they're lying to you. That you're destined to be something no matter where you came from, no matter how much money you make, no matter what car you drive, no matter how much of a mess you think you are. For the right people, you're good enough. And it's time to start loving ourselves. It's time to start loving other people, because love wins. But we're so focused on the hate because it's easier to be mad than it is to recognize the pain that we weren't allowed to talk about. We weren't allowed to process. We were never taught how to release anything. We're taught how to hoard everything to ourselves and go to work every day and put on a front like everything's fine. But we're not fine. And it's okay. You know? We weren't taught the right shit. And the things that are being taught to our kids are even worse. And it's just like, it's time to take back control of the things that we can control. And I don't know about you, but I was given 4 kids for a reason, and I have 3 girls, and God help me. They're all little right now, but I'm just saying, like, it starts with the kids, and it starts with ourselves. And it's like we forget somewhere along the line of going to work and doing what we're supposed to do, the American dream. We're neglecting the main things that we need to be focused on. Our kids are our future. Special needs kids are going to change the world. My son Aiden is 9 years old, and up until this year, I didn't even really tell him that there was something different about him. I said, your brain's wired a little bit different, you know? He's autistic and ADHD. I can't even tell you how smart he is. I wish that my brain was wired like his, because the shit that I grew up, the things that were drilled into my brain, I'm just like thinking about, I've been lied to my entire life, and I believed it. And I wonder why I'm a fucking mess, and that I feel lost. And it's like, in the midst of the hurricane, it's like you see everything spinning around you, and that's pretty much what this entire year has been like for me. I'm like, well, I don't fucking know what to do, but if you want to take out the house, go ahead, because this motherfucker is like 100 and some years old anyway. You can take out the rest of Virginia with you, but it's just like, there's sometimes we can't control shit, and it's gonna get to that point. And that point that you're at when you're up against a wall and you can't fix anything that's happening in your life, just know that what comes after that is what you're supposed to be doing. That you're going to figure out a way to take another step and wake up the next day and remember that you're here for a reason, and it's time to remember who the fuck we are, because I feel like we got ourselves fucked up along the way. So the rejects and the people that have been abused, the women that were treated less than, have the power to change the world. And it's time for us to find our voice, because I'm tired of being quiet. I'm tired of so many things that are happening in the world right now that are fucked up, that everyone sees, but we're just like, this is normal. It's not normal. It's not okay. And it's time for us to just start, at least just admit that it's not okay, that that's fucked up, that it's kind of a setup, that we're being controlled in one way or another, you know? And teach your kids the right way, the right things, and that you don't have to pretend that everything's okay all the time. Because it's like, what, somewhere along the line, what we were taught is to act like a lady, smile, and be professional. It's like, bitch, I don't have it in me anymore. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I'm okay when I'm not. I'm not okay, and it's okay, because everything that I've been through has brought me to this point in my life where nothing is really holding me back but myself, you know? Like, when you are awakened, or at least allow yourself to wrap your brain around the fact that we've been lied to and we believed it. But some of us that have been through hell, is for a reason, because we have a greater calling on our life, that we haven't been paying attention to the right things. We have angels, we have spirit guides, and I don't know about Jesus or God or whoever's up there. I think that it's going to be on whatever level it comes to you. And they've been with us this entire time. We have people on our side. There's people that are fighting for good. It's just that the focus is on the evil right now, because that's what sells. That taking a silent stand, if for no one else than your kids or yourself. It means something, and it doesn't, it's like we're made to feel so small, but it just takes one person to get on a live video and rant and rave for an hour and be a complete fucking mess and just tell you it's going to be okay and you're going to get through it, and nothing lasts forever. And fuck a mental illness. It's not mental illness. It's internalized pain that you don't want to deal with. That there's probably grief from things that you've seen that you don't talk about. There's grief from us losing people that we didn't think we could live without. But realizing that they're still with you and they're fighting on your side, and they're not here anymore, but you are. So it's time to live for them, because they don't get to be here anymore. And they are like, I just feel like they've been screaming at me for so long, and I was given no other choice but to open my fucking eyes and see in my life and my kids, and take responsibility for the fact that I had played a role, but I'm not going to take responsibility for what other people did. That there is so much fucking evil ass shit that wants to take over, and it seems like it's winning, and it's like there's just no hope left. And that's where depression comes in, because when you fuck up your life and you lose your house or you lose your job and you're not paying your bills and you're struggling, you're going to believe the thoughts that are being told to you in your head. Somebody that's watching or will be watching my video, your angels are with you, and they want you to not give up. that you can fight this, but you have to believe that, for one, that it's not over, that all hope isn't lost no matter what you've been through, that you're still here for a purpose, and it's greater than I could even begin to tell you, but I feel it, and I'm just like super excited about it, because it doesn't matter what we've been through or what we've lost or what kind of pain we hold on to, but it's about accepting the fact that we were abused, that we weren't treated the way that we were supposed to be, and we don't have to hold on to the things that other people did to us. Let them own their shit. Let them own the things that they did to other people, and not take on that energy of feeling bad or feeling sorry for them, because some people don't want to be fixed. It's easier to stay in a broken state than it is to face themselves. And it took me a long time to get to where I am, so I'm not judging, but I try to fix everyone, and I forgot about myself. And when I go down, there is nobody to take there is no one to take my place. I sat here for months by myself in this depression that like literally almost took my life. And nobody noticed, because everyone is only worried about themselves. So believe me when I tell you, I know what it's like to not want to get out of bed. I know what it's like to be betrayed by the people that you would have fucking died for. I know what it's like to not have parents, and I know what it's like to not have shit, be white trash, and a nigger lover at that, because God forbid you have kids with someone outside your race. To be not socially accepted and being the oddball. But what if we're looking at it wrong? What if we're looking at things the way that we're taught, that that's not normal, there's something wrong with them? But these are the people that are actually the ones who could change the world. That you can't see the potential in your lies that people told you, and that you told yourself after a while, because the bad stuff is easier to believe, and our self-esteem has just taken a complete hit. But it's because we let this world transform our minds, and our vision got so blurred by our own choices. I mean, come on, we can't play the victim forever. I mean, I don't know. I was in 8th grade health class, and I was told to put a condom on so you don't get pregnant, but damn, a bitch has 4 kids. I mean, I got to take responsibility for the fact that I did not use condoms, Your Honor, okay? That I looked for love in all the wrong places because I had a father who was absent from my life. That fathers are important, that mothers are important, and it's important for them to see you as you are, and that it's okay to not normal, and to cry and to scream and to yell and to let out the feelings that we're taught to paint on a pretty face, like we're okay. It's okay, nothing's wrong. So then our kids are growing up like it's not okay for them to express their emotions, or it's not ladylike to talk about sex or STDs or whatever else isn't socially fucking acceptable, which is my entire life at this point. And I don't even care, because there's women that have been through hell and are still standing. And I want you guys to realize that it doesn't matter what you've been through, what you're going through, is that you're still here for a reason. And if you're getting hit, it's for a reason. I encourage you all to start listening to chakra music when you sleep, especially if you're suffering from depression and anxiety, because there's different tones that are like, I don't really know how to explain it or wrap my brain around it. All I know is since I started listening to it when I'm sleeping, it's helped me. That we're not clearing out energy because we were never taught how. We don't know how to process some type of pain because it's so fucking deep. It's like if I were to rip off this Band-Aid, there'd be a big ass hole. And it's just like, pain is power though, because we don't have to let it take over our lives. We don't have to be ashamed of the things that we've been through. We don't have to believe the labels and the statistics and the diagnoses that we're given in this life, because it's a crock of shit. It's someone else's opinion of what you should be like. It's time to open up your eyes and see that there are evil ass fucking people running our country. Any position of power, there's got the devil attached right to them. That we're being controlled by our own government. That the law system is set up to keep people in jail for their entire lives. Anybody who makes too much money or tries to sell drugs. But it's like, people got so desperate that they had to make those choices for their life. And to live your life in a cell and to go through things that most people don't talk about. But it's okay if you were raped. It's okay if you were beaten. It's okay to feel ashamed of those feelings that came along with, if it was somebody in your family. That shame that someone could betray you that you trusted, that was supposed to care about you, that was given to you, that you were born into this fucked up ass family. But it's also okay to release those people that we're told we're supposed to love. Because some people aren't meant to be in our lives, and I don't give a fuck about blood. I don't give a fuck what color you are. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care. It's just to that point where we need to be more aware. And medications aren't going to solve anything. And neither is the alcohol or the weed or the pills or the meth or the heroin. But if you think about the bigger picture, it's like we're all addicted to something that takes away the pain that we don't want to talk about. But the sooner that you're able to rip that Band-Aid off one last time and forgive yourself first and foremost, and forgive people in your life that did things to you that they shouldn't have done and it was wrong and you aren't allowed to talk about it, or God forbid speak out about it, because you're not allowed to talk about it. The shit that every woman has been through is like, how did we forget who the fuck we were? What we've been through, the things that we've seen, the things that we've endured. I mean, we carry other humans, you know, like we are the creators in this fucking life. And we're believing some lies and believing these fucking evil ass people because we forgot who we were. We believed someone else's version of what we should be. Fuck that. I've run into a lot of people in my life that, because I'm an empath and a psychic, by the way, I run into a lot of people that I try to fix. I've given 17 years of my life to working with these misfit people that at the end of every day, the people that have the most mental illnesses, the schizophrenics, the cutters, the people that were bipolar, ADHD, manic depressive, it all stems from some kind of abuse in one way or another. And I think that your brain just shuts off or goes a different direction when it can't process or doesn't know how to process things. and then they're labeled as misfits. But we're put here to love people. I'm put here to heal people, but only in me healing myself am I able to effectively attempt to try to help you heal yourself. When I started this tarot channel, I was at the lowest point of my life. The love of my life was a fucking narcissist, and I let him in my house. I was so in love with him, and this person that I put on a pedestal doesn't even have the same emotion, doesn't even have any emotions. The person that I gave every part of myself to, just because I thought that if I loved him enough, or I showed him love, that he could learn to love himself and learn to love me. But I don't have time for it anymore. People need to be aware of themselves, and if they're not ready to be there, and they're not ready to accept and heal and just wake the fuck up, we can't fix them. But understand that you're going to be thrown a lot of people that are fucked up, and it's going to keep coming back to back. So you have to be careful about the people that you're around and the people you let into your life, because it will destroy your entire life. And it's not easy to bounce back from complete worthlessness. And the hardest thing I've ever had to do as a mother is take care of my kids when every part of me is broken. To still get out of bed when I didn't want to get out of bed. To look at myself in the mirror and just see a hollow ass figure that I didn't even recognize myself, and I didn't even notice what I was doing to myself, because we're so wrapped up in the distractions that are put in our life to keep us from realizing our potential. United we stand, divided we fall. And I'm not saying that we're going to do all these rallies and we're doing this, but it's more about awareness. And it only takes one person to say, to reach out their hand when you can't even look at yourself in the mirror, when you can't even explain the things that you've seen and the things that you've been through, and how many times that you had to be strong when you don't have any hope. You just need someone to know that they understand and that they care about you as you are. And it's time for women to stand up and use our voices, because we've been quiet long enough. This entire world has been quiet long enough. And things like hate and greed and jealousy and possessiveness and everything that we've been taught that we're supposed to get, just a rat race that never ends, has threw off our focus from what's important and what we're doing to ourselves and our children and just the world in general. Like, think about a normal day in my life. It's so chaotic. I don't even know. I mean, I get in my car, I have to count my kids. Like, I think they're all in here. Did I brush my hair? Did I brush my teeth? Like, you don't have time to think correctly because you're so focused on all the shit that's going on that we're missing what's really here, you know? We're missing the fact that we have good things coming for us, but we need to start healing ourselves so that we can help heal someone else. That we're here to help other people, whether or not they accept it. The biggest step is just knowing that someone else understands, someone else had the nerve to go on YouTube and do a live video about the shit that they've been through, to cry and to let it out, to release it. because just as much evil as there is in the world, there's good. And we need to start recognizing the fact that it's not over. The fight's not over. And that there's going to be people silently standing up, whether it's a small group on Facebook or whether it's just about yourself and your kids, whatever you have put in your life. Because there's only certain things you can control. And I'm tired of this people being so uneducated. I'm tired of people thinking that it's okay to shoot and kill a man because they were scared of him. Since when is it okay to kill people? Since when is it acceptable for people to take someone else's life or to have that power over someone else's life to make them do those things? That there are racist ass fucking people in this world, but it's a setup. They want to focus on the evil shit that's still going on because the black and white line is still there. It'll forever be there. But it's time to forgive people that don't deserve it for our own benefit, because if people truly stood together, if this entire nation, black and white, Puerto Rican, whatever color, whatever descent, if we truly all stood together for one common purpose, they wouldn't have any power over us at all. But we're so mad about things that this anger and this pain that we hold on to from things that we know in the back of our head aren't right and it shouldn't have been done, but it's taking control of you more than it is anything else. That you're just another angry person world, holding on to the same resentment and the same hate and believing in the wrong shit, man. That even if your voice cracks, you still opened up your voice, you still opened up your mouth to say the words that we were never taught that it was okay to say. To let your kids see you a fucking mess and let them know that they're going to have days like this and they're going to see shit in this world, in this life, and there's fucked up ass people that are controlled by a world that they can't even see. And that maybe the next generation of kids won't be so fucked up because they're going to accept the things that they can't control, but they're going to control themselves, and they're going to have the knowledge to not be able to fit into a mold that we try to stuff ourselves in, and then we don't fit in and we don't understand. That we don't have to be quiet about the things that we've been through. That there's so many good things coming for us that I'm literally shaking. I wish that you guys could see the things that I see or understand how powerful you are, that everyone holds such power, but we're distracted and we're blinded and we can't see it because of the pain and shame. And we don't have to be ashamed of the things that we've been through. And we don't have to be quiet about the shit that goes on because it's not okay. Close the door.
I love you, Mom.
I love you too. Close the door, please. That they're poisoning our air, our food, medications, that 90% of the diseases in this world are put here to destroy us. That the one thing that will keep people divided is anger and pain, and watching someone they love be killed in front of them. Because the family dynamic, the black man is extinct. And so we have kids growing up without a father, and the father is the vital person in everyone's life. A mother is the creator, the mother is the nurturer, but she needs that man figure in her life to be the backbone. But we don't have a choice anymore. That it's okay that we don't have the mother or we don't have the father figure in our lives. Some of us don't have that for our kids. So we got to play that role too. That some of us bitches can hold our own and teach our kids the right way so that they're not going to do the same things. They're not going to believe the lies that we believed our whole lives. Some of us still believe them. Because we're so ashamed. And it's, in a way, some of us should be, because, I mean, myself included, I've sat here and I watched this stuff happen on the news. I don't even have a TV. I don't watch the news. I have Netflix and Hulu. I don't allow my kids to watch mainstream TV. I am addicted to Facebook and Snapchat, which once again is a setup, but be careful about the things that you let your kids watch, the things you watch, and the things you believe. And understand that every person holds power, and it's the people that have been through the most shit that are still standing and are going to continue to stand, because they're going to have to kill me. And I have 4 kids, so I'm fucking shit up on my way out. I don't know. I'm never going to stop, and I'm never going to quit, and I don't care. That one small voice that we've been all told to be quiet and we don't matter because we're poor white trash, or we're in a race that has dominated another race for centuries and done horrible things. That I just put my hands up, like, they have a right to be mad. But it's time to realize that that anger is what is fueling the same that's been happening for hundreds of years. That they're going to take someone from your life that should never have been taken. That there's mothers out here that have to bury their children. Just remember that they're still fighting with you in a whole other realm of shit that we can't even see. And like I said, I was just now realized this, like, the love of my life, which is just this twisted ass story. I don't even know how to explain the love I had for this kid, and he died of an overdose when he was 23. And you don't know the shit that people go through when they overdose on drugs or they commit suicide, the pain that they carry. But I'm glad to know that on my worst day, when I'm sitting here and I feel super alone and there's like warfare going on that we can't even see, but we're believing it, that he's fighting for me. And I can't think of a greater person by my side to fight shit that I would never be able to do. But if you lost someone in your life, just know that they're fighting for you. And every day you wake up, it's because you're supposed to be here for some reason, whether it's to be nothing other than a mother or a teacher or a healer, or you have a purpose. Everyone has a purpose. Stop listening to what you're supposed to be and remember who the fuck you are. That we have so many people fighting on our side that you don't even know they're there because you can't hear them. But they're fighting for you, and they want you to know to not give up, because they're not here anymore and they've been fighting in your corner. So it's only right for us to stand up and be, this isn't okay. I'm not okay. And things that are going on that are wrong. And we don't have to be quiet about it. That the demons that we let into our life are attached to everything that we love. Every addiction, drugs, sex, money, porn. The devil is a sneaky motherfucker, but at the same time, I've been hit with, I don't even know how many shells. Like 50 Cent said, he's been hit with a few shells, though he walks with a limp, but he's still standing. We're still fucking standing. So, if the misfits and the people that have been through shit that it's time to let go of so we can see clearer, can take the step in the right direction for themselves, because it's a journey and we're gonna have to go through shit that other people wouldn't be able to do, or that they think that they can't, or that they're programmed to believe that we need a medication to solve this problem because there's something wrong with us. You have a voice. Everyone has a voice, and it's up to you how you use it. But I'm tired of being quiet, and I'm tired of being depressed, and I'm tired of being stressed out. And I just sat here, I said, listen, I gave it up. I'm giving all this shit up because it doesn't solve anything, and it keeps me in a more chaotic mind frame. That I have destroyed my life on one occasion, and I've rebuilt myself, and I didn't give up. And I wanted to. I was very close this year. But that's how bad I was beaten down. And it's like, it's time to let it go. That it's okay to forgive people and accept things that have happened to you, but to not carry the energy that holds power over you. It's time for the true leaders to stand up and take their spot on their throne, because there's kings that know that they're kings because they believe that they're nothing, they're garbage, they're trash. It's time to take your spot where you're supposed to be sitting and own it, because you fought for it and you're not moving from it. Fight the fucking negative ass thoughts that are meant to destroy you, and realize that you hold power, more power than you could ever imagine. But it's going to take you losing a lot of things. But it's like, did we really lose anything though? We lost what we thought we were supposed to have. We're taught we're supposed to have for our family, for our kids. That we're a part of something that's way bigger than we could ever understand. And that there's so many things and people that are strategically put into our lives. There's things that people are whispering to you, and I never even notice. I could sit here in complete silence, and I know what I'm supposed to say to you guys. I know that there's someone who needs to hear what I have to say, and they've probably been here for my entire life, and I didn't even notice. That there's peace after every storm, that we can take the pain of the world and turn it into power. Because they're not going to expect that. They're not going to expect people to take every knife that people shoved in your chest and own it and be like, well, you hit like a bitch. You know, I'm still standing. And it's going to hurt like hell to go through it, but the peace and the understanding that you're going to have afterwards is worth it. So it's time for us to believe that a lot of us are sent here to heal other people, but it was only through our pain that we're able to do that. There are ascendants of kings and queens that need to take their spot on the throne. Take back their spot because it was taken away from them. That there is so much more than I can even begin to tell you. But you have people fighting it for you, and you've had people fighting for you since day one, and they're telling you don't give up. That it's not over just because somebody said it's over. That it's only through releasing the things that were sent to destroy us and giving it back and letting the people that have done it to you own that shit. They have to own that. But learning how to process and release the things that we hold on to subconsciously half the time. That there is still good left in the world, and they have been fighting this whole time and no one noticed because we hate. That sometimes you have to lose the things that you built your whole life trying to gain to see things the way that you were supposed to see them since the beginning. To accept the unacceptable, and it starts with yourself. And you define who you are and what you're capable of, because if you realize the power that your thoughts have over your life, you'd be unstoppable. It's time to stop thinking so fucking negative. It's time to start speaking positive. Use affirmations. Find someone you connect with and hold on to them, because it's time that we start networking together and taking back this fucked up ass world, one broken ass person at a time. That it's the most fucked up ass person that had the most fucked up ass childhood that never fit in, that's been a healer, that has the power to heal other people. And that's just one thing that I'm good at. Can you imagine what you're good at that you don't even fucking know who you are? That there's people that are in your life that are going to go through things at the same time that you did, or maybe at a different time, but it's for a reason. And it's bigger than any kind of pain or abuse or whatever other distraction that was thrown in our way. To accept the fact that we let our focus get to this point. It's time to take responsibility for the fact that we're not doing anything about any of it. A lot of us are just like, well, what can I do? I'm just one person. But that mindset is what's fucking you guys up. That just one person that meets another like-minded person that has the balls to stand up and say, this is fucking wrong. And stop sitting back and accepting The wrong shit. Someone else's distorted view is what we've accepted our entire lives. That we look for love in a man because we didn't have one in our lives to begin with. Because we didn't. It takes going through hell to a place of peace. And it's only through hell you find peace. And it's only through hell you understand that we've accepted less for far too long. We believe the lies. And it's not okay. That to die standing in your power, your true self, knowing that your words that you were help the next person on their journey, at least you die with a purpose. For a good reason. That you held your ground until you took your last breath. That there's happiness and joy, but it's in nothing that you've been trained to believe that it's supposed to be in. It's an unreachable thing. But with you, it starts with educating yourself, educating your children. And it really is time for the leaders of this, the true leaders of this world, to stand up. And take back control of this country before it's too late. Before more people die. Before more kids are abducted, molested. Before the disease takes control of your body. All it takes is one person to start. At least, if nothing else, a revolution to bring people back to their power, even if it doesn't happen when we're still here or whatever is supposed to happen. But it is awareness, and it is education, and it is being who you were destined to be. No matter what you've been through. That we're not going anywhere. That we're not going to be quiet. That we're not going to sit here and let another man's life be taken because everyone's so obsessed with power that is just destroying. Don't be so blinded by your fear and your pain and your anguish that you can't see, that you live your whole life in pain that you never processed, you never got rid of. You're wasting your life, you're wasting time, you're wasting energy. For what? Because you wanted a new car, or you wanted to have money to flash on Facebook and buy some shoes that have a brand name with a fucking monster attached to it, because we were drilled in our heads. We're fucking puppets. And it's the misfits that are going to be the ones to set this shit off the right way. Don't let your crown slip off your head anymore. It's time to straighten it back up, even if it's a little cracked and broken. But realize who you are and what you're supposed to be doing. Because the universe is going to push you into a wall one way or another. And you could spend another year doing the same shit, being in the same toxic ass cycles, falling deeper into depression, and you could spend the rest of your life living in hell. Or you can choose to not let anything define you, that you define yourself. That there's so much that you can't see that is good. Love wins, but love isn't accepted, it's not taught, it's not given to ourselves or other people. That we took the labels and the brand names that other people gave us and we believed them. But if you knew who you were or what you could be, if you know the power you hold, just one person, every person, that we're put here to help other people along our journey, but more importantly, through every pain, everything that was sent to destroy us, through everything that still is trying to destroy us. I mean, you got to think if it's in the food, the water, the medications, but we're still living through it. It's not working, is it? That a white person and a black person can come together no matter what has happened to them and stand with one common goal, and that's that we're not going to be quiet anymore. That they have taken the lives of thousands, millions, children's lives, innocent souls, and black men are the targets. That everyone just lets it happen because they were given a couple $1,000,000, but the person that they're meant to destroy is the true kings of this fucked up ass world we live in. Because with great power, it's a threat. So we're made to believe that we don't hold any power, that we have to live by what they tell us to do. That we're being controlled and that we've been sheep long enough, don't you think? The greatest people I know, oh, I don't even know. This thing just
Mom?
ended.
Mom? Mom? Mom?
Hold on, I'm trying to end this live because it's